Look at the money in your wallet right now. That paper feels real, doesn't it? But what if I told you it's holding a secret? For thousands of years, money meant something you could bite, weigh, and trust. Gold. Silver. Something solid in your hand. Then, on a single day in history, everything quietly changed. And almost no one alive today truly noticed it happening at all. The money you carry now isn't backed by gold. It isn't backed by silver. So what exactly is holding it all together today? The truth is stranger than fiction. Every dollar in your pocket is worth something only because we all agree that it is. Think about that. A shared belief. A collective illusion so powerful it runs entire nations, empires, and your daily life. But belief is fragile. And once, in living memory, a leader made a decision that shattered the old rules of money forever. In just 15 minutes, on a quiet Sunday evening, he cut the invisible thread that tied paper money to real gold. The world woke the next morning, and the money looked exactly the same. But underneath, everything had already transformed. So how did we get here? And what really happened on the day money stopped being real? Let's go back and find out together. Long before paper, we traded what we could touch. A goat for grain, a fish for salt. Value was something you could hold in your hands. But bartering had a cruel flaw. What if you had wheat, and the man with shoes wanted only wine? The whole system could grind to a halt. So humanity searched for something everyone wanted. Something rare, beautiful, and impossible to fake. And then they found gold. Gold changed everything. It didn't rust, it didn't rot, and it shimmered like the sun. For the first time, wealth could truly last. Kings stamped their faces into it. Empires rose and fell chasing it. Gold became the silent king that ruled every human heart. But gold was heavy. Imagine carrying a fortune across mountains, praying that no thief waited in the shadows to take it all away. Then came a clever idea. What if you left your gold with a trusted man, and he handed you a simple paper note as your promise? That note meant something. It whispered a promise. Bring this back, and your gold is waiting. Trust itself was becoming money. People soon realized they could trade the notes themselves. Why touch the gold at all when the paper carried the same power? And here, a dangerous seed was planted. If paper could stand for gold, what would stop someone from printing just a little more? And here is where everything shifts. For centuries, money was gold you could hold. But one quiet decision changed that forever. Imagine waking up one morning to learn the gold behind your dollars was gone. Not stolen, not lost, simply declared irrelevant. The men who made this choice sat in silence, knowing the world would never be the same. And yet, they told almost no one why. What replaced the gold? Trust? Nothing more. From that day, your money was worth only what everyone agreed to believe it was. Think about that for a second. The bills in your wallet are just paper, backed by a promise no one can actually see or touch. But here is the question that haunted economists. If money is only belief, what happens the day people stop believing in it? History whispers warnings. Nations have watched their currencies collapse overnight, turning fortunes into worthless dust. Yet somehow the system held. Fragile, invisible, yet standing. But something beneath the surface was quietly beginning to crack. Behind closed doors, a few sharp minds noticed the danger. They saw the illusion clearly, and what they discovered terrified them. They realized money had already stopped being real. The only question left was when the rest of the world would finally notice. By 1971, the cracks were spreading fast. Nations watched America's gold vanish, and one by one, they began to lose their faith. France moved first. President de Gaulle demanded gold for dollars, sending warships across the Atlantic to collect what he was owed. It was a stunning act of defiance. Suddenly, the whole world realized America might not have enough gold to cover its promises. In Washington, panic simmered behind closed doors. Advisors whispered numbers that terrified them. The reserves were bleeding away. Every foreign dollar was now a ticking bomb. If they all demanded gold at once, the entire American treasury would simply collapse. The math no longer worked. Only a fraction of the gold remained, yet oceans of dollars circled the globe, demanding to be honored. Britain sensed the danger too. Quietly, they asked to convert $3 billion into gold, and that request changed everything. That single message landed like a thunderclap. If Britain pulled its gold, others would stampede, and the empire of dollars would fall. A young president now faced an impossible choice. He could keep the promise and go bankrupt, or break it and shatter the entire world. The clock was ticking louder than ever. Behind those quiet White House walls, a secret plan was forming that would rewrite history. The banks opened their doors, but inside there was nothing left. Only empty vaults and the frozen faces of terrified clerks. Outside, the crowd swelled into thousands. People clutched worthless bills, screaming for bread, for gold, for anything that was still real. A single loaf of bread now cost a wheelbarrow of cash. Children pushed carts overflowing with money that bought almost nothing. In the markets, chaos reigned. Prices doubled by the hour, then by the minute. No one could keep up with the collapsing numbers. Desperate families burned their savings for warmth. The paper that once meant everything was now cheaper than the firewood itself. The government printed faster and faster, hoping to catch the fall. But every new bill only pushed the nightmare deeper into ruin. Robberies erupted in daylight, but thieves ignored the money entirely, snatching only food, coal, and anything that still held value. An old man stood in the square, weeping over a lifetime of savings. In his trembling hands, decades of work had turned to dust. And yet, amid the madness, whispers began to spread. Some people had seen this coming. Some had already found another way to survive. What did they know that the others didn't? What secret let them stand calm while an entire nation drowned in its own paper wealth? So here it is, the truth we've been chasing. Money was never real. It was always a story we agreed to believe together. The gold, the paper, the numbers on a screen. None of it held value alone. Our shared faith gave it every ounce of power. When Nixon severed the dollar from gold in 1971, he didn't break money. He simply revealed what it had secretly always been. From that day, value floated free, anchored to nothing but trust. A promise whispered between strangers, banks, and nations. And that is the terrifying beauty of it. Our entire economy stands on belief. If faith collapses, the numbers mean nothing. We saw it in Weimar, in Zimbabwe, in Venezuela. When trust dies, wheelbarrows of cash cannot buy a single loaf of bread. Now, money has grown even more ghostly. Bits of data, blinking on screens, moving faster than any human eye could ever follow. We hold no gold, no paper, only glowing digits. And here lies the warning. The more invisible money becomes, the more fragile. So ask yourself tonight, what truly holds value in your life? Because the day money stopped being real, it was already long gone. The real treasure was never in the vaults. It was in trust, in each other, in the fragile stories we choose to believe together.